And we just want to say peace and love, my people. May God bless all of us. May God protect you and make everything that you are doing that is for the betterment of yourself and your family and humanity, that it be a success. This is a Green Room Studio presentation again, and I don't want to be too long, but I was just sitting and I was pondering, and basically, like, I just want to be real with this. I want to talk one-on-one. That I myself, for those who don't know, I was converted to Islam. I wasn't born a Muslim. I never grew up in an Islamic family. So I have been through the ups and downs, and I know in detail the trials and the tribulations that the young converts face. And you don't hear much speeches where people speaking about the problems that the converts are facing. First of all, I want to say peace and love to all the new converts to Islam, or just the converts. Basically, long as you converted to Islam or reverted to Islam, because we don't really convert, you just revert back to our original way of life when we become Muslim. To all who had reverted back to Islam, to all who consider themselves converts to Islam, I want to stand in solidarity with you and say that I understand your pain, I understand your tribulation, and I understand what you go through. Because I myself been through these things, and I myself face these things every day. I'm speaking basically for the converts in the West. I don't know about people who become Muslims in countries that is majority Islamic and stuff. I'm speaking for and I'm basically speaking for like Latinos and blacks, and I'm speaking in general for all people. But this speech is basically for the downtrodden, the converts, you know what I mean, the brothers who come in and trying their best. One of the things that the converts need to know, and one of the things that I faced when you become a Muslim, is culture shock. Because you coming from the streets, you coming from basically thug life. Wherever you want, you just get it. Whatever you want to do, you just do. Whatever woman you want, you just want. And then you coming from a culture of basically black people, Latinos, Mexicanos, and these are the communities we live in. So these are the people that you relate to. So most of the time when we become Muslims, be it Shia or Sunni, depending on the center you end up in, especially for the Shia centers, when we become Muslims, the center we go in is dominated by Pakistanis, Iranians, Iraqis, some Palestinians, some Lebanese. So these people their culture is totally different to our culture. And when we go into the masjid, we are shocked sometimes, because one of the things that we Muslims, when someone becomes a Muslim, somewhere in his mind he's thinking that Muslims are perfect people, that Muslims are beautiful people, that Muslims are not racist, that Muslims are not, that you're expecting the best from Muslims. You think if you become a Muslim and you broke, in your mind is like, because I remember when I used to be a Christian, and you now become a Christian and you go to the church, people help you. If you was not staying away, they find somewhere for you to stay, and they pay a lot of attention to you. They want these new converts in Christianity. And they truly show the love of Jesus in trying to take care of that person. So many families come together. Some of these churches give people, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that Islamic centers don't do it, but I'm saying that in most of the centers I've been through and seen young converts, this doesn't take place. This outreach towards the convert. So when this young man becomes a Muslim and he comes into the center, he's in surprise, because he has just taken his shahada, and he is pure, and he's clean, he has no sin, he's spotless. Now he comes into the mosque, and he realizes that some of the people in the mosque, in all reality, are worse than some of the people on the streets. For instance, one of the things we face, converts face, is racism. Don't let nobody fool you. I want people to know that Islam is perfect. The ideology, the school of thought, the message, the oneness of God, Muhammad is a prophet of God, Jesus is a prophet of God. These things are pure and these things are clean, making hajj, fasting. These are righteous stuff. But not everyone in the centers are righteous people. So when we convert, we go there expecting these people to be the best people in the world. And we are shocked. Some of us, sometimes this is why people leave Islam, because they are so surprised that when they come into the masjid, especially a young black man from the street, these people in the centers, some of these centers are more racist. Some of these young black converts experience more racism inside of the center. Inside of these places that are called Islamic centers, we experience more racism, more tribalism, more culturalism. And then we start to feel like if when somebody converts and they come into the mosque, the average young man, he start to feel like in the beginning everybody's salam alaikum. Then after a while he's like, then the next thing we face is sometimes we go into these centers and they see us in the center. And they're speaking in languages that we don't even understand. How I see Islamic centers, if you open an Islamic center anywhere in the West and the door is open for all of humanity, this is, you call it an Islamic center, meaning it is for people who want to come for a peaceful place, because this is what peace means, and you open this door that anybody can come into the center, then I think that the language in the centers should be the language of the people of that land. I have nothing wrong if you like Urdu and if you like Farsi and you're real good at Arabic. Then have private things far away for you and your people. But when you have young blood, you have new people coming into the Islamic institutions, we should speak in a language that the people understand. I remember I used to be in a center, and all around the center had many writings and different stuff in Arabic. And one time I said that we should change these stuff from Arabic to English, because, or if you leave it in English, at least, if you leave it in Arabic, at least put English so that when a man comes off the street, right away he can relate to what is written. Sometimes we come into these centers and these places look like foreign centers, like this is not from a person of America. So these are some of the things that we face, some of the trials that we face. So one of the main problems we face is racism that has plagued the Islamic institution. And this is, I'm just saying this so that people who come into Islam can know that there's a possibility of them facing these things. Sometimes where the shock comes from is that most of the time somebody converts to Islam is some brother on the street, some black brother on the street, or it can be people from other races, but most of the time these are the people that be doing the dawah. It's young black converts, people who just become Muslims. Sometimes they are Muslim 2 months, but they're already telling everybody in the world. Because when one converts to Islam, he has this passion, he has this love, he has this strong desire to show the whole world, y'all been missing out. Man, Islam is right. This is how to clean yourself, man. You shouldn't eat this. The pig is so unclean. You're so excited that you want to tell the whole world. But when you come into the centers, you realize that these people are not interested in this. Most of these centers are not interested in the whole world coming into their centers. Then young black men converting to Islam, now they're looking for a Muslim wife. So when they come into the Islamic centers, they're looking at young women in the center and being like, man, I would like to have a young Muslim wife like that. And nothing is wrong with that. But we got to let the young converts know that, especially the blacks and the Latinos, that most of these Arabs and these Palestinians and these Pakistanis are not going to allow you to marry their daughters. You are not going to marry their daughters. Most of the time, the most you would get from them is a shake hand. You're not even coming to their house. And next thing, all that most of the thing that they offer the converts are advice. They're not gonna really tell you how to become successful physically. Most of these centers are run by people by doctors, by surgeons, by people who own businesses. But when we come to these centers, they're not gonna teach you how to become a good businessman. Now, this is what I see Islam as. From the time someone comes into the center, you should make sure that this person has food. You should make sure that this person is well taken care of, if you're in a position to do so. Before you start to teach the man about Islam, you should find out, does he have a place to rest his head? Does he have food to eat? Does he have some form of transportation to come to the center? This is what most of us experience at the churches. If I decide I want to become a Christian, these people are going to open their arms. Like me, I do dawah. So if I was to become a Christian today, the churches would welcome me. Because I'm going to become a preacher. I'm going to become an evangelist. I'm going to walk the streets. And it's so easy to make people come to church. I would become famous just by the way they would welcome me and the way they would use me to bring more people. But you see, in the Islamic centers, most of these centers are created as social clubs, cultural clubs, for particular families to come together and pray and hang out. So I'm not saying that all of these people in these centers are bad. A lot of people in there are beautiful. But most of these centers was not established with the convert in mind. So now the convert, he comes from the street where he know that the white man has been racist to him, enslaved him for 400 years. Now he goes in a center where he's supposed to be among Muslims, the best people in the world. And he realized that they are he is experiencing more racism, more bigotry inside of the center that he's experiencing on the streets. I'm going to keep it real. Sometimes I experience so much love from people who are not Muslims. I'll be like, wow. But then I come to understand as I'm getting older that a lot of Muslims are on the streets and are called thugs and street men. And there are a lot of thugs in the centers and a lot of racists in the centers. There are young black men in the hood who don't know how to be racist. Black men date white girls date black men date Puerto Ricans. But when we come into the center, it's like a racist cesspool. And don't say I'm speaking bad about Muslims. I'm a Muslim. Islam is truthful. But I'm saying what we converts experience. You have Muslims living in $300,000 houses and there are converts who have no place to rest their head. And when they read of Prophet Muhammad and they read of the companions of the Prophet and they read of the Prophet family, it's like totally different to what they experienced in the center. So now the Muslims start to get doubt. He's like, maybe the church is better for me to be. So he's thinking about leaving the center, and it's because of you. It's because of you Muslims who have brought your cultural baggage to America and who is carrying on all habits that is really destroying Islam. The duty of the believer in the Western world is to propagate. As I said yesterday in one of my speeches, verily by time man is in a state of loss. Expect the one who has faith and called to righteousness and called to good deeds. So I'm going to continue this in the next video. What I want to say to you is that I would like you to like my videos, to comment on these videos. If you like it, comment. And if you don't like it, comment. Because what this have is Facebook realize that this video is getting a lot of activity and somehow it opens up to more audience. And it's only natural when we see a video has so much hits, we try to look at it. I'm not here making money. I'm here spreading the truth. The converts are hurting. I'm going to make part 2 to this because I have not even touched on some of the things that the converts are going through. And many of the converts are reverting back. My people, we should be more willing to reach to the convert more than the people who've been Muslim 10, 20 years. We got to fire up the young converts' heart. We got to excite them. We got to make them see that Islam is the truth. Because we are the flag, we are the banner of Islam. When they see us, this is Islam. The Quran is words written on paper. Words are just ideas until it is implemented. So in reality, everything is, the Quran is meant to be implemented. It's not something to be on a shelf. Islam is, we must let people see our works. I want to close off with, there's a verse in the Bible, in the book of St. Matthew, on the Sermon of the Mount. Jesus was telling the people who follow Moses that the believers basically are the salt of the earth. That is, we who give life to the earth. But what if the salt has lost its saltiness? And this is what happened with the Muslims today. They have lost their saltiness. So they are basically salt that is of no use, that needs to be thrown away. So we need the young converts. We need the new blood. I'm going to do part 2 to this. We should call this video, you know what? Tears of the Convert. Again, like these videos, share these videos. I love you, man. Peace.